Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of F1 Manager 22. Still in our Ferrari career, episode 6 now, I believe, and we're going to beautiful Spain for a home race for Carlos Sainz. Hopefully he can do better here than he did in real life. I think that was a horrible race for both him and Alonso, so see if we can do a little bit better there. Also a super long straight there. And yeah, should just be a very fun track. Still doing really well. 210 points in the constructors, 115 for Charles, 95 for Carlos. So title race is still up, but it seems to be mainly between Charles and Carlos actually. And because Max had such a horrible race last episode where he got in a bit of an accident and he had to replace his front wing with an additional pit stop. And then yeah, Sergio is now actually ahead of him, so quite spicy there. We manufactured quite a lot of car parts. Our second start of the hours. I don't know what they call it. Let's see if we can find it back. Can't really. Basically, the second period, yeah, the ATR period. That's what it's called. Is starting now. The aerodynamics testing restrictions period. So all our hours reset now for the CFD simulator and the wind tunnel. So that should be quite good. We finished a suspension design. We manufactured another rear wing. We also finished up a front wing design, so that's a lot of designs now done, which is really good. Right on time for the new ATR period. And we should have some better parts now to manufacture. Post-race review we don't particularly care about. So let's first have a look at all car parts ongoing. So current project, nothing. No designs, no manufacturing, nothing at all. We could start manufacturing immediately again, but first let's have a look at our cars. What do we have currently? So for the chassis, why am I... Sorry, let's go to the warehouse. Okay, so chassis, we already have some good designs. Front wing, we don't have any yet, so we should start manufacturing some of those. Rear wing is good. Side pods are good. Underfloor could use some upgrades, and suspension we should start making as well. So two things we need to manufacture, and then maybe we start designing a new underfloor to improve the car there. And maybe we use the second design slot to start researching, because that would of course also be important for a team like us to keep up to date also for next year. All right, so a new project. First of all, let's design an underfloor. Use a decent amount of our hours. Something like 1. I guess we use 1.12, then we can do 4 things this period, which isn't too bad. Wind tunnel hours, same thing. Let's use up something like 18? No, 16. Alright. So we get a pretty decent drag reduction, some better low speed, some better airflow sensitivity. And if we look here, we're still first in everything, but we're just going to be slightly better, which is still useful, I'd say. So let's continue that. We'll use half our engineers, and I don't think we do rushed. Apparently the underfloor is really expensive and also takes quite a few days. 54. Maybe we use a bit more of our hours then, actually, because if we're also going to be doing... No, that's a bit too much. Maybe just half, because if we're also going to be doing research, then that will actually take quite a lot of time as well, so we wouldn't even be able to do much else. This looks pretty good all around, I'd say. Especially the dirty air cornering should be a lot better than it was before. So let's do that. I don't think we'll rush it. Yeah. Could reduce time a bit if we used more engineers, but I don't think that's very smart. Yeah, rushed or intense doesn't seem that worth it. That would just be super expensive. I mean, we do have some more cash again. I think this is okay. All right. Now we also need to start manufacturing some things. I think that was the rear wing. No. front wing? Yes. All right, so let's make 4 of them. And we could already start using them. So I think the normal approach is completely fine. And they will even be ready for Spain. That's very good. And then we also had the suspension. Yes, there you go. And that should help quite a bit with car performance as well. Again, like we're still in first, so this doesn't change that much. But there are some slight increase. This one is really not that much better. It's mainly actually the brake cooling that will improve, and then also a little bit of the dirty air cornering. So that's still pretty good, I'd say. Let's make 4 of these as well. And we can at least install 1, I'd say, before the race starts. Now, research. What do we want? I think maybe first of all, a good chassis would be nice. And we do at some point need to start doing research, of course. So how about we use all our days? This is gonna take 30 days. Okay, that's actually not that much. So maybe we use half then. And 16. And then we could do 1 more research like halfway through, maybe. That sounds pretty good to me. So let's do that. Because the next period is 49 days. So then we still have 19 days left once this is done. And anyway, the design that we're making right now is going to take quite a while. That will take... Ooh, actually, we'll have even better day. Okay, that's perfect. Great. All right. This doesn't take that long. I think it's just per part, I guess. It can take longer or less long. Whereas an underfloor probably is super hard. Maybe a front or rear wing just isn't that impactful. Like, it doesn't take that long. Yeah, I remember well we had 1 development point. I think, again, we're going to put that in defending. And actually upgraded Charles to 89 overall. Very nice. He should be a little bit better now at keeping people behind him, which is pretty good for us because we do start out in front most often, but we do also have to defend a lot against Verstappen, mainly trying to push us. And even his own teammate is often actually pushing him a little bit, so that should be good. All right. What is happening? Yeah, we have some low stocks. I think that's perfectly fine. We have a lot of backup parts, even if they're sometimes a little bit worse. Don't particularly care for that. It looks like, yeah, the gearbox that we set up Charles with, or Carlos with, wasn't too bad. It's now at 25%. Now I'm getting a little bit worried, so I think we're gonna change it now for Carlos as well. Let's install the next gearbox. It did run with that messed up gearbox, so it's not like it was completely bad, but yeah, I don't think you want to be on that for too long. The engine is also worrying me a little bit, where it's now at 43%, but we only have 2 spares, so I feel like we have to do at least 6 races per engine. And we could always still get another one, but I think at, what is this one? 43%, we are gonna have to run it at least 1 more time, I think. And that will be the case for both of these guys. Now, this could be a horrible idea. We might just do really bad in the race, but I do want to try this out. Car part test center has been upgraded. Let's have a look at what that did for us. There you go. So we now have plus 2% on the engine cooling and brake cooling. And upkeep went up by a lot. It must do a little bit more, right? Car part test center. No, it's just flat out these cooling things. Okay. But that will be good once we start making some new parts again, so that's not too bad. Wind tunnel still being upgraded. Design center as well. This will also free up some capacity, but probably not in this ATR period. Yeah, 60 days left, so that won't do too much for us right now. Don't really want to spend more money. 12 million is already quite a bit, and eventually we're also probably gonna have to deal with these conditions dropping down a bit too much. Right now our effectiveness is still at 100%. Probably once that first bar ticks down, it's gonna be at like 80. So I don't think we want that. You gave us a scout report for Jack Crawford. Don't particularly care for a 59 rated driver, sorry to say. And let's keep on going. Alright, we got a scouting report for Pierre Vacher. His salary is insane. He earns more than Bono? Wow. Red Bull pay well. Right, let's compare him to what we paid Bono. Or let's at least compare him even to our current guy. Well, that's still 3 million. What? We pay Enrico way too much of you. What the hell? Why can I only... Okay. Apparently I can only compare them against each other. That's interesting. That's kind of insane. What do we pay our current engineers? Bono, you earn 2 million or something? Yeah, why is Bono's salary so low? That's insane. What do you get? 5 million. What the hell? 3 million. Oh, you have a development point. That's nice at least. I guess we'll work on the chassis a little bit. You are one of the better people around, I think. What do you earn? 1 million. Okay, you're the cheap. Oh, it's just the head. Yeah, okay. The technical chief and the head of aerodynamics are just quite expensive. Fair enough. I don't think we'll swap him out then for Pierre Waché as technical chief. He's slightly better, I guess, but yeah, the stats aren't really in anyone's favor that much. Well, you do have a much better stat on the rear wing. A little better on the side pods, a little better on the chassis. Pierre is a little bit more expensive, but it mainly is buyout fee of 4.5 million. That's just a little bit too much. I think Bono was already an expensive expense, let's say. So maybe we'll keep an eye on Pierre. His morale is okay. He would be... Oh, he's not even interested. Okay, fair enough. Then we're not gonna even bother, of course. We scouted Riccardo Mosconi. That is the race engineer I was looking at. Him we could actually compare... No, not with Bono, please. With Riccardo Adami. It would be a lot better. But also, again, a little bit expensive. And I do kind of feel bad for already poaching one guy off of Mercedes. So maybe we wait a little bit on that. We could still try near the end of the season. That would be kind of funny. But there's no other real good options, I'd say. I don't think we will. Piero. Bird. No, I think this is fine for now. Let's keep it at that. All right. Race time then. Race weekend upon us. First of all, we need to be setting up our cars. I think we're gonna give Charles the better parts for now. He is now better rated by 2 points. So he'll get the better front wing. And actually we'll give that to Carlos as well, because we do have 2 of them. So that's perfectly fine. Then the rear wing is already okay. Side pods are fine. Underfloor, good. And the suspension, here we have 2 as well. That should bring us up even a little bit more. Very nice. So let's install that on both cars as well. Now I know we're gonna get some big errors saying like, oh no, you're not gonna have enough parts, but well, we're still making those, so that's fine. I don't think we need to be too worried. So far, honestly, we haven't even needed that many parts. So let's see. All right. So we have a few DRS detection zones. There's 2 DRS zones. Lots of high speed. We have had a few safety cars. It looks like it's gonna be a 2-stop according to the expected strategies. So we have 66 laps. That is quite a few. Average lap time will be about 118. Competitive performance for softs is 12 to 17, then 16 to 23 for mediums, 19 to 27 for the hards. And it does seem like there's a pretty big gap between the mediums and the hards. Now, apparently softs are going to be a little bit worse on average than mediums, so that is interesting. Okay. Yeah, obviously the softs will be quicker at the start, but on average the mediums are actually better here. Now it doesn't seem to me like we can make a 1-stop work, but let's have a look anyway. So let's say we started out on the hards. We probably do 27 laps at least. What's tire abrasiveness? Medium. Let's say we can do 30. And 20 on the mean, that's still not enough. Yeah, okay. So we're probably gonna try and do medium, medium, soft. That does seem sensible. I don't think soft, medium, soft is good enough for us here. But maybe instead of doing this, we'll go soft, medium, medium. I think that will be the go-to, because I do want to start out well, of course, and be ahead of any competitors if possible. So I'll probably do soft, medium, medium, and then see where that gets us. I don't think a one-stop is gonna work for us. We can try, of course.
Cranked up the heat over Barcelona. The first Grand Prix held here was won by Nigel Mansell after a wheel-to-wheel battle with Ayrton Senna. But who will follow in his footsteps this weekend? Long straights and medium speed turns dominate here, but there's something else to watch out for at Barcelona. The air currents are strong and unpredictable, and they'll be giving aerodynamic components a real run for their money this weekend. We might still be early in the season, but that doesn't mean we can sit back and relax. Everything is up for grabs, and nothing is certain at this stage. What will happen this weekend? Only time will tell.
Nice. I feel like we've had that same intro sequence of Charles consulting one of his engineers and like walking to the monitor to point something out like every single race. Maybe that's just my mind, but feels like it. All right. We're going to start on the soft. We're going to do our usual setup here, so nothing too exciting. Do 16 laps, I think, but probably bring them in a little bit earlier. Let's do something like this for now. Get everything around sort of where they need to be. Run plan, and then go a little bit easy. Actually, you can definitely just do 15 laps. For Carlos then, let's do 15 as well. Our setup will be something like this. Keep everything around the edges to see what works and what doesn't work. And go a little bit easy on the tires, please. And let's see if we can get Carlos maybe a home race win. That would be nice. Let's go into the first practice session as usual. Bono doesn't talk much anymore. I feel like that's a bit strange. I don't think we had the other engineers where they just don't talk occasionally, but last time we followed Carlos. Oh, actually it's his track. Let's follow Carlos around. As usual, we're gonna go one lap just to show the full track, and then we're gonna go and speed the whole practice up a little bit. I think we'll probably simulate the other two practice sessions again, just because there's not that much to do with it. But let's watch as we go around the track for the first time, of course. Looking pretty good so far. Lots of medium speed corners, like this one. Corner here. Keep as much speed as you can coming out. Much sharper turn now. And then very downward sloping, immediately followed by upward sloping. You can feel the porpoising. Like, I get now why these drivers had such issues with their backs and whatever else. I remember, like, Lewis had to, like, be almost helped out of his car at some point. Yeah, these tracks are very bumpy, and then if the cars are, you know, like too low and they have a lot of porpoising issues, then that must not be fun to be in. For a whole weekend of practice, qualifying, and then racing for hours. Not fun in the slightest, probably. Very sharp turns here. And onto the main straight, which is really long. This should be good for overtaking. And across the line. Alright, so we know what the track looks like now. Let's get going to speeding things up a little bit. And see what our car setup is doing so far. Sainz actually putting a pretty decent lap out. Obviously with very low track rubber, these are not the times that we hope to see. In the end, 118 was something like what we thought would definitely be feasible on a better dried up track, or rubbered up track, I guess you'd say. Leclerc going past Verstappen now. We are of course holding back a little bit on our drivers. I'm a little bit worried about the engine, I'll admit. It's not too much that we can yeah, we can't really do anything about it right now besides replace the engine, but I really don't want to do that already in episode 6. That feels too early after 6 races. I mean, we do have 22 to go. I don't mind ordering an extra engine. I think that's rather normal, but
give us a balance check when you can.
yeah, I would just prefer not to.
Yes, guys. Getting better and better.
Alright, so
Okay, copy.
your car is pretty good. I already said good. It's only 50% though, so I don't know why it would even say that that's good. We definitely have to change the traction. No, not the traction. Sorry, the cornering and the straights. So let's have a look. Straights is going to be these two. This seems to move it the most. And let's move you right back to where you were. This seems to be actually a pretty good setup. Do something like this, and then we move it back using this, and that moves actually both of the bad indicators quite far away. Quite happy with that. The stop seems to be lasting a lot longer than I thought, so maybe a one stop is actually pretty feasible. Because I don't really want to go twice if not necessary. At the very least, let's just go again on these same tires, because apparently that's not an issue at all. You're now heading. We didn't get the full setup, did we? That's annoying. So we're definitely sitting out on 16 laps this time. Everything is... Oh no, we did. You just didn't give us an update. Okay. Everything is bad, so let's obviously change that quite a bit around. Basically, I don't want anything to be where it was. That's me the... except, of course, the top one can be like near the oversteer that we had, but everything here should be quite different. I would like traction to be a little bit off. Something like that, maybe. Okay. Let's send you out again. 15 laps, I guess is fine. Same set of tires. Out you go. Looking pretty good so far. And yeah, these tires last a lot longer than I thought they would. It's maybe not a bad idea to try a one stop then. And if we feel we're getting too slow, we could always still come in for a two stop, of course. Then could we do hard to medium? Or medium to hard? Maybe we just start on the mediums. And then we'll go back to... Like, once we have to pit for the first time, then we'll decide if we go for the hards or the soft. And if we go softs, then we'd obviously do a two-stop. And if we do hards, then we try a one-stop. Seems like a pretty good idea to me. Does mean we probably give up a little bit.
When you can, balance check.
Come in then, please. Does mean we give up a bit of speed at the start, probably. So that's a bit costly, maybe. Already 76%, that's pretty good. Only the traction now needs some work still. So let's see, what can we move? Seems to be this one. Try something like that. Bring the others back to where they were. Approximately, of course. You're definitely a... No, that's not the one to move there. Try something like that. This seems like a pretty good setup. Yeah, now we probably can't use these tires anymore, so let's use this fresh soft. I think at most we'll end up using one soft during the race, just to get around the rule of having to have multiple types of tire. So yeah, we'll see. I don't think we have to be too stingy with our softs, to be honest. As long as we have one for the race, I'm quite happy. I do want multiple mediums, for sure. That seems quite important. Okay.
Yeah,
Carlos in as well.
Good for now.
And how are you doing, Senor? 68% oversteer seems to be a bit off still, but everything else quite good. Is there anything that moves mainly oversteer? Not really. Probably bring you something like that. Bring you back. Something like this, maybe. Let's try that. Gonna send them out for the same set of tires, I'd say, and just do a very short one. We only have 13 minutes left. And we also still have to reconfigure the car, so maybe I shouldn't even have used the fresh set for Leclerc, to be honest. But we can send him out on the same set, even with simulation, I think. Pretty good. Now, right now, we're quite behind Verstappen and Perez. But I think that's also because they're probably using fresh tires and we're not. And we're still being quite cautious, of course.
Okay.
So,
Could
could be fine. Our temperature's going up a little bit, that's okay. Only 4 minutes left and they'll come in. So that should be fine. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have used all this tire for Charles, but it's okay. Leclerc actually put up a good lap there, even with... Yeah, okay, we gave him a fresh set, so that makes sense. Alright. Not a bad P1. Yeah, yeah. I know, you're already coming in anyway, but... Don't be such a scaredy cat. Alright, pretty good. We'll give the fastest lap to Verstappen for now, but in the end we're of course gonna try and get that back from him. I think we're gonna... Okay, we're not allowed to start you on the same set. That makes sense. Don't mind using one hard. We're definitely only using one more, I'd say. But for now, let's start you on something like this. Do like 18 laps maybe. Quite happy with this setup, to be honest. I think I'm just gonna leave it for now. Let's use a fresh set of soft. Not too concerned about that. For you, let's do the same. Give you one of these. And yeah, we don't know too much here, of course. All right, so pretty good. Let's simulate P2. See where that gets us, and we'll probably tell them to start on a hard near the end there. I hope they're not using up our mediums, at least. That would be painful.
Thank you for joining us here today. Once practice is over, qualifying will be underway, and then the fight for pole begins. Each team will be looking to build on the progress they made during yesterday's practice sessions. When it comes to preparation, absolutely nothing should be left to chance. Everything has to be just right. Of course, by the time the cars hit the track, well, there are some things in Formula One that no one can prepare for. What does today have in store? Only time will tell.
Nice. All right. Let's be ready. What did we use? They did use a medium. If he uses another medium, I'm gonna be quite pissed. That is rather annoying. Tell him to start on the hards and go for like super long. Yeah, let's do that. We'll just tell them to go super long and hopefully that forces them to just chill out. I really don't want to use up that second set of mediums, but let's see. We'll try this and hopefully that gets them to not use the mediums. Yeah, if you could just set out like a plan or something, like for more than one stint, that would be really nice, so we don't end up using all the tires we don't want to be using. Okay, they didn't use the second medium, they used up most of the hard, and it looks like another one or two softs. That's okay. Could be worse. Let's say the hards can last for almost 58 laps. I don't know, maybe we just try, like all of these have an insane lifetime, to be honest. I don't think a one stop here is the one to go at all. I think we're gonna just see how long we can last on that medium. And if need be, then we'll yeah, we're gonna manage qualifying just because that always tends to be a bit of a cluster F otherwise. I think we're just gonna send them out now. I know there's not much track rubber yet, but I would like to not be caught up in too much traffic if possible. Please don't go now. Perfect. Okay, so we get a very clean run here. Okay. Leclerc. Oh, wow, that wasn't just a lockup. That was something bad. Okay, he does seem to be back on track.
Is that a lockup? Here's the replay.
Hopefully he didn't have any
Watch
damage.
this.
Let's watch what
There's
happened
Leclerc.
here. That does seem to be
They've
that
locked
corner where
up, but
wind...
that could have been much
Oh,
worse.
I think wind is just a big issue here. Doesn't seem like he messed up any parts, but let's have a look at the car. Only the engine still. No damage anywhere else. Okay, so that was obviously not a lap we can do much for. Hopefully Carlos at least had a good lap. Yeah, we're definitely gonna immediately have to send Charles out again. That was just a horrible lap, but Sainz set a pretty decent one. So let's keep Sainz in for now. Let's immediately send Charles out again, I'd say. On the same tire, I think he should be fine. He just needs to not lock up. I think I'm content leaving Sainz on this, to be honest. Looking at everyone else's times, we should be okay. Oh, I didn't actually send Charles out. Nope. I was like trying to look for like, where is he? But he's not anywhere. Okay, he does get a very clean run. Let's hope he doesn't lock up this time. I don't think he should catch up to Norris. He might near the end. No, he didn't. Okay, perfect. And he set the first time. Very good. Okay, I don't think we need to come out anymore. Normally, you know, like there's still that little train. I don't particularly care for going out again. There's just no point to me. Let's keep these tires as fresh as we can. Track grip is higher, but I don't see them going over our time by much, to be honest. So that should be okay. Yeah, perfectly fine. Okay, good. I guess that's a nice part when you set these good times early, then you can save a bit more of your tire. Let's definitely start on a fresh set. As long as we have one, I'm perfectly content. Like I said before. Let's go to Q2. Track grip should still be pretty good, so immediately we go out, I think. Let's try and get out before anywhere else and hope not to get caught in too much traffic here. Let's see what that can do for us. We are going to get a little bit of traffic, I think. Yeah, that's annoying. Oh, I think that held us up way too much. Yeah, Charles got a horrible time there. Ricardo didn't move out of the way at all. Looks like. Okay. Good time for Sainz at least. Horrible one for Charles again. This hasn't been his qualifying so far. I think we're just going to send him out immediately on the same set. See what that does for us. And try and time it a little bit. So let's see. Let's let these guys pass, and then we'll go out sort of behind Magnussen, maybe. Oh, they're coming in anyway. So, okay, let's go immediately now then. And hopefully we don't get too much traffic by the time we come out here. That would be annoying. Don't care for Sainz. He can stay in. Okay, we get a pretty clean lap here. That's nice. Should be good enough. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so that is Q2 in the bag. Not gonna send them out again. Gonna keep these tires as fresh as can be, just as a backup in case we do feel like we need them. Fuck, Ricciardo somehow got a penalty. I wonder if that was for impeding us on that lap, because he didn't move out of the way at all in those corners. Like, we just stayed behind him, and that cost like a full second, if not more. All right, good. So far, doesn't seem like there's any big shake-ups. The Williams, of course, are out. The Aston Martins, the Haases, McLarens, and then Zhu and Yuki. So this seems like a super normal qualifying so far. No big shake-ups. Get into Q3 then. This is where it matters now. We have 2 sets if need be, but we're gonna try and do it with 1, of course. Let's see. Track grip is really good. I think we're just gonna send them out now again immediately. Try and beat the traffic. And on top of that, probably we're also still gonna send them in a little train and see what that does for us. But for now, I'm content with this. Hopefully no one goes right now. Perfect. We get a clean lap here. And that is sub 118. Perfect. Okay, that should be a really good time already. But let's see if we can do even better. We are going to send them out in the little car train. Verstappen seems like he got stuck in a bit of traffic. Perez is still really off the mark here as well. Good for us. Let's get our cars ready then. Same tires. I think I'm content with that. I would like to just keep a completely fresh set. And everyone is going. Let's go as well. Alright. So at least Sainz get a really clean lap there. I think everyone should be fine here. Obviously, everyone ahead of us shouldn't be too close to us because they're also going to do a push lap. So unless they make a mistake, we should be fine here. Alright. Looks like we got a 1-2 start. Perfect. So Charles did improve slightly on the time of Carlos. And did that? Oh, maybe I was looking at the wrong person. I thought Carlos also got a sub 18, but don't seem to see it anymore. Alright, so it's the usual setup, to be honest. The 2 Ferraris, then the 2 Red Bulls, then the 2 Mercedeses, and then the Alpines, Alfa Romeo, Bottas, and Pierre in his Alfa Tauri. Alright.
Tension continues to build here.
Okay, well, we've heard that spiel a little bit before now, especially with us starting in front again and the Red Bulls right behind us. I think this strategy is nonsense, so we're gonna change it up a little bit. I think we're gonna try for a 1-stop. And then it has to be mediums to hards, I think. Yeah, this should be easily a 1-stop. I don't know why the AI thinks doing a 2-stop there is smart. Can we even try and do soft? That might be a bit tricky. Yeah, that's... I think medium start is okay. And then go to the hards, do something like this, and be quite comfortable in your range. And we can even push a little bit on the tires then. I think this is going to be the strategy. And by starting on the mediums, we still shouldn't be that slow compared to anyone starting on soft. I'm just not very comfortable going on softs, even though it says 36. I feel like we drop off too quick, and on average, the mediums are quicker. I think that's just better. I think we're gonna do the same strategy here. Do something like that too. If these mediums can last for that long, then I'm perfectly happy just staying on them for rather long. I just don't... Yeah, the softs are not gonna be it. It have to be something like this, which you can make work, I think. I just don't like the idea of doing so. I think we're gonna start on the mediums here and do something like that. All right. Perfect. Picked our strategy. I think we're good to go. We have the fastest car. We're of course gonna start on as much push as we can and let them duke it out in the first corners. And let's see.
Fate, but there are quite a few clouds overhead.
Yeah, we've heard that before. I don't think there's going to be any rain, but let's see.
Formula 1 calendar. This is the Spanish Grand Prix.
Looks like most people started on the soft or the mediums. And let's look at the first few corners. Looks like Max got a very good start here. Charles probably not. Carlos seems to be alongside of him. This is very clean little 2 trains here. Into the first corner. Charles did get the better. Looks like Carlos bailed out a little here. Perez lost his position to Hamilton, but they're fighting it out right now. Probably wheel to wheel a little bit. Let's keep on Sainz here so we can see our competitors as well. Already a tiny little gap to the Red Bulls. Hamilton dropped back. Russell dropped the position to Alonso, who is just the 40-year-old freak of nature that can still compete with people 10 or 20 years younger than him. Stop using too much of our ERS now. We're already 1 second away from Verstappen. That's really good. We're gonna still push our tires a little bit. We do have the life in them to make that work, I think. And that's pretty good. Yeah, looking good so far. Now I think this time I really don't want to give team orders. Last episode I gave them quite a bit of team orders to not fight for most of the race. I think this time I would like not to. Even with DRS opening in a lap. Let's have these guys duke it out for once, you know? Let's see if we can bring some excitement to this race. Fastest lap for Charles. Very good. I think we're gonna push back a little bit now on our pace here for both guys. I'm not gonna give one of them more resources than the other for now.
And think about increasing the lifting coast.
But I do want them to fight a little, so let's see what that does for us. Alright, so we're gonna speed things up a little bit. Our car is doing wonders. We're already 2 seconds clear.
DRS enable. Okay.
Little moment there apparently, but doesn't look like anything happened too much. Maybe Vettel got a bad moment.
Was that a
for
lock
now.
up on the
Yeah,
track? We can
indeed.
take a look now.
He did seem to be too far
Taking a
back.
look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel. That
Yeah,
lock-up
that was
could
just a
have
bad
cost
moment for him.
dearly.
Lost him 2 positions to the Williamses. Unfortunate for Vettel there. All right, so with DRS, I do expect that Sainz can maybe push Charles a little bit here. And that might bring Verstappen back into the fold. I don't know. But let's test that out as well, right? This is sort of our test
You have
season
fastest
as
lap.
well. And I'm just very curious to see what that would do for us. Tires looking alright so far, not using up too much here. And we're already 3 seconds clear now, so let's stop using too much of that tire. Looking pretty good so far. Not unhappy with the way our tires are progressing. Sainz trying to make a move on Charles. Not working for him so far. I don't want to use team orders just because I feel like it's a bit bad faith to give, like, to tell Carlos to stay behind Charles the whole race when it's his home race, you know? I don't want to do that to the crowd. I don't want to do it to us. So even if this might cost us a little bit compared to the Red Bulls, I do want them to just fight. And they have their own problems going on because Hamilton is pushing the 2 Red Bulls quite severely, as you can see. So we have like some little DRS trains going on all over the track, actually. So far, we seem to be holding on. Even making the gap to Verstappen a little bit larger there. 4 seconds now. And Sainz doesn't seem to be able to get past Leclerc. He can definitely stick on with him. Like, he's right behind him in that 0.3, 0.4, 0.2 even. There you go. He did finally make the move. I do expect, yeah, Leclerc to... He got it back even before the long straight. So these guys are going to be
did
fighting
someone run
quite a
wide
bit now.
there?
Albon ran wide, okay. Doesn't matter too much, to be honest. Yeah, we're just gonna let them duke it out. I don't want to use team orders for
I
this.
think there's been a lock-up.
Even if it does cost us a little bit, maybe. Let's see. How is our tire progressing? Actually, better than expected. So, what is the temperature like? A little bit high, so maybe don't use too much of it. Engine looking okay
Oh,
still.
there's a spin.
Magnussen spins out. Unfortunate for him. But doesn't really do anything to us. And yeah, Hamilton is really pushing Perez, who is in turn pushing Verstappen. So DRS allowing for that. And same here. We keep switching back and forth between Sainz and Leclerc just because of DRS. Interesting how that goes. Tires holding up a lot better than me or the AI thought. So this is definitely not going to be a 2-stopper. I think that would be idiotic. Curious to see what Verstappen and Perez will do. Ooh, Sainz had a little lockup, apparently. That could be bad for us. That is going to bring...
Sounds like someone's locked up.
Yeah, that's bad.
Let's
That's
have a
really
look.
bad. Let's have a
Let's
look.
have another look. Science is the focus here. Well, they've locked up.
Oh, that's
They won't have been happy
not
about
good
that.
at all. Okay, that brings Verstappen right back to Sainz, which isn't ideal. Looks like Perez is pitting at least, but yeah. Sainz is now definitely in territory for Verstappen to
Yeah, all good.
do what he needs to do. It does look like they're on a slightly different strategy than us. We're gonna stay out for a while longer, I think. What did Perez go to? Which tires is he using now? Went to the mediums. I think he might have started on the soft. I'm not sure. You can check here. Why are you still on mediums? Oh, he hasn't pitted yet. Okay, let's have a look. Once he swaps, I do want to see what he swaps to. Hamilton went from softs to mediums. That's at least looking like a 2-stopper. Doesn't have to be. I thought Sergio pitted. What happened? Verstappen now went into the pits as well. That at least gives us some breathing room. That's good.
So Verstappen in the pit lane now.
Looks like Sergio went to mediums. Okay, so he did just pit at 23. He just went from medium to medium. Verstappen might do the same here. Okay. I don't think we're doing the same. So they're doing a 2-stop. I don't think that's right. We might get undercut here, but if we don't have to pit at all anymore, that's still really good for us. Sainz definitely can just ease off a little bit now. He doesn't need to keep pushing as hard as he has been. Leclerc is in a league of his own right now. Enjoying that clean air. Mediums is still holding out quite well. Let's see if that 27-second gap... No, that's just fine. If that shrinks. If it does by a lot, we'll probably bring him in. Yeah, okay, it's starting to shrink a bit now. So these fresh mediums of theirs are now starting to eat into our window of opportunity. They're still pretty good though. I think we're gonna just run them ragged on both our guys. Try and see if we can keep that gap around 27 seconds. If we can, great. If we can't, it's also okay. And then we'll start pitting soon to go to the hards. Okay, so by pushing these tires to the max, we can still extend the lead, actually. That's really good. Yeah, okay, we can still extend it. Perfect. That means we're gonna stay on this for a little bit. And then we'll have some really nice, fresh hards to enjoy till the end of the race. Could try and go for softs, don't particularly care for it. Fuel range is getting low. What? What are you talking about? We're fine on fuel. Okay. Well, we can always ease up on the fuel a little bit if we need to, but it doesn't seem to me like that's too important right now. Get a fastest lap, even on these old tires. Very nice. I think we'll start thinking of pitting now. Let's bring in Carlos first, I'd say. So you come in. I'm gonna give you some... No, because then we're kind of undercutting our own driver. Let's not do that. Let's bring you in, actually. You have the good gap towards Verstappen. And let's bring you in on the regular hards. Hopefully that's a good pit. Yeah, that's a good pit. Perfect. Alright, now Sainz is still pushing his tires. I don't know why it's saying that. I don't think the fuel range should matter here at all, but okay. Now we're gonna bring you in, do the same thing. Get on some fresh hards. And then let's see. Should be okay here. We have a really good gap to Verstappen, even with Leclerc, so... I think Carlos should also be fine. Coming in now. 2.6, very good. Didn't undercut our own driver, and we're still really a lot clear of Verstappen, so that's good. We need to tell him to pull back a little bit on those tires. Yeah, so far we seem to be really good at conserving our tires. Like, they just last a lot longer than expected, even while we're pushing them. We did push them to the max, basically. And yeah, and it doesn't seem like we're going to be in trouble here with the hards. We're still extending our lead a little bit. And these mediums should also start dropping off soon in terms of pace, so that's not bad at all. I think we're okay. Now that little luck up of Carlos definitely put him outside of the range of Leclerc to attack. So as long as Leclerc doesn't make a mistake, he's probably fine. But hey, that's racing, right? And I think he still wouldn't be too upset getting a second podium place and in his home country. I'm definitely going to conserve this fuel a bit. I'm a little bit annoyed that it's apparently an issue.
Just going to need some lift and coast.
So let's go a little bit easier on the fuel here. See if that helps us out here. That should be enough. Now we have a little balance built up, let's say, and still Verstappen couldn't even get closer, so I think those mediums are just dropping off too quick for them to really do anything.
Okay.
As we're even setting fastest laps on these hards now. So the hards seem really good, and still these guys I think need to come into pit because they've done medium, so they have to come in just to change a tire. So I guess they're doing the one where you stop twice and go to soft. I think that's idiotic, looking at how well these tires could handle. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so now he's probably on the softs. Yep, there you go. Yes, okay, so I think that's an idiotic choice. They're now 35 seconds behind us. And these mediums definitely could last for longer. I'm just so confused by this fuel. I don't know why they keep telling us that. Okay, well, let's do some list and coast again then, I suppose. And let's keep on going.
Who's running wide there?
Should be okay again. Don't know why Charles is using up so much of his fuel, apparently. Like an excess amount. Is it because the engine isn't so good anymore? Let's conserve both of them again. I guess it could be the engine. Like, it is getting a bit older, right? Yeah, I mean, at this point, we can at least just run out the race. I'm even going to put both of them on conserve, I think, just to make sure that we run out this race with enough fuel. Tires are holding out perfectly fine. Don't need to do much there. And since we have such a gap, I think some of you recommended... it's a cool view from the helmet. Try and do some... avoid curbs and driving clean air to maybe... ease up on the engine. So let's try that. Let's... hopefully that does something for our engine, because I do want to keep it maybe even for another race, but 34% is really low. I don't think we can do that, to be honest, but let's see. Fuel is fine. We have 30 seconds, so there's absolutely no point in not conserving a little bit. Like, we are losing like a second per lap now, but well, we only have 4 left, so what's it matter, right? Let's conserve a bit. Yeah, it looks like we have a fuel leak or something with how... like, normally we're completely fine in fuel department, but this time for some reason... we just didn't have enough. Like, we've been conserving for so long.
Was that a lock-up on the track?
Still, we're barely making it. We only have 2 kilograms left. We've been conserving for almost the entire race now. Looks like this track is just really bad on our fuel for some reason, but I think we're okay. Wow, okay, that was tough, man. We had only 1 kilogram left here. Same here, wow.
Well, this was incredibly difficult.
We lost a lot of time there at the end. If we had to do this while we were still fighting Max, we would have lost. For sure. We'll have a chat later. That was a bit threatening evening. But another 1-2 for us. With a sizable gap, even with the troubles with our fuel. So, yeah, curious what the difference is when we're doing this kind of thing. But hey, we'll take it. Perfectly fine, to be honest. Pretty good here. Watch the celebrations, and hopefully Carlos is at least satisfied with his second place.
What a beautiful sight that is on the podium, and a true crowning achievement for everyone.
He always does this. It's a little like, what? Also, I feel like this guy has been on the podium a bit too much now. Seems to be always like the same guy. I think they could do maybe with a little bit more variety in these cutscenes and like different types of reactions. I don't know. But I do love them, don't get me wrong. It's really fun to see. Hey, why didn't they give them? My man didn't even get a champagne bottle. That's rude.
Today's competitors gave it their all, but it's going to be.
He doesn't even get to be in the picture. Oh, there he is. Okay, I was about to say, does he not even get to be in the picture because they're doing the staff dirty then?
With that result.
All right.
I agree. This was all very impressive, and it's obviously the work of a solid, well-run team.
After an intense weekend,
Things
the
no one
team
has
ends
ever
in
said
first
about
place in
Ferrari.
the
A solid,
constructors'
well-run
standings.
team.
For the next Grand Prix, make sure you join us at the renowned city circuit of Monaco. Prepare
Nice,
yourselves
looking forward to
for
that.
one of the most legendary rounds of the season.
It's just such a boring track to race on, but it's just Monaco, right? Like, it has this vibe. Yeah, Charles again extending his lead a little bit. I don't think we got fastest lap. Sorry, I muted myself there for a second as a very loud ambulance came by. Didn't want to blast out your eardrums. But yeah, we're extending our lead a little. I think Carlos got a development point. Yes, he did. Perfect. Let's see if we can improve his overall rating as well. Earned ourselves a cool 3 million, so not too bad at all. Yeah, doing really well. Really looking forward to Monaco. That should be fun. I'm curious to see in the race whether overtaking there is a bit more possible. Because in real life, obviously, isn't really. It's super hard to overtake. But we can see. At the very least, we're really good so far in qualifying. Our car is really good, so as long as our engine holds out, we should do well in Monaco as well. A little bit worried about the engine. I don't want to swap them out too quick, but I definitely don't want to explode our car. So maybe we'll switch engines already next race, but we'll see. I think for now, that is more than enough. We got another very good result there. First in the Constructors and first in the Drivers' Championship. And it's looking like we can give our boy a championship so far, unless Carlos can make a comeback. For the Constructors, obviously we're quite far ahead, but anything can happen. Let's make sure we don't do a Ferrari, and let's keep trying to get these good results. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I very much did. And I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, bye.